we turn to Japan, the country that gave us Pokemon. And, oh my God, it's a Jigglypuff. I've never seen one of these in the wild before. Okay, stay calm, quick. Take out a Pokeball and slowly and carefully throw it. Are you ready? And throw. Throw it. Oh, God! Oh, God, you threw it too hard! You killed Jigglypuff! Jigglypuff is dead now! Why did you throw it so hard? Anyway, where was I? Oh, that's right, Japan. There is something amazing happening over there right now. As we've discussed before, Japan is home to thousands of mascots for everything from museums to prisons to entire towns and cities. You may remember, we loved that idea so much that we actually made our own unofficial mascots for various US government agencies. Well, it turns out we are not the only ones who've decided to make some less than official mascots.
A rogue mascot is causing a lot of controversy in one Japanese city.
Oh, man. Meet Chiitan, the unsanctioned otter mascot that is gaining popularity on social media thanks to its edgy personality. Video of Chiitan swinging a weed eater, and you can see him there dancing on a pole.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is video of a Japanese mascot on a stripper pole, presumably at a strip club called There Are Way More People Who Are Into This Sort of Thing Than You Think. But it is my absolute honour tonight to introduce you to Chiitan, and you are going to be glad that I did. I know that he may look like half a Vienna finger that took too much ecstasy in the 90s, but Chiitan is, in his own words, a 0-year-old fairy baby who plays around super actively every day. As you can tell, Chiitan is a giant otter wearing a turtle as a hat, which is, incidentally, already my favourite sentence of all time, right next to Welcome to the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Ward. But the story, though, of what's going on with Chiitan is a little complicated. But in a nutshell, there's a city in Japan called Susaki. Susaki's official mascot is Shinjo-kun, a magnificent giant otter wearing a ramen dish for a hat. Excellent. Until recently, the city also had an honorary tourism ambassador, an actual otter named Chiitan. As it happens, Chiitan, the actual otter, has a mascot otter, and that is what Chiitan is. The point is, there are 3 otters, 2 of which are named Chiitan, and the mascot Chiitan was never formally affiliated with the city of Susaki. It's that simple. And the unofficial mascot Chiitan has been producing some bizarre videos. Not just the stripper pole one, but also this one where Chiitan flips a car with its bare paws. Now, Susaki reportedly received over 100 calls from around Japan complaining about Chiitan's behaviour, and earlier this year, the city attempted to distance themselves from it by declining to renew the real Chiitan as its tourism ambassador. Basically, the city cut ties with the real otter because of the things the fake otter did. Which is a real shame, because Chiitan has been a lot of fun. Its Twitter account is full of crazy shit like this. Now, you might be wanting to ask, how does an umbrella-wielding, coked-up otter being assaulted in a windowless room encourage tourism to the small Japanese port city of Susaki? Well, I'm on TV, and I'm talking about the small Japanese port city of Susaki, so that should answer your stupid fucking question. The point is, every Chiitan video is a work of art. Take this one, for example, titled With My Friends. It's understandable to have a lot of questions after watching that, like, what am I watching, who's the karate cat, and why is Chiitan angry with that inflatable pole? But you'll notice that am I bored is not one of the questions you're asking there. Violence is actually something of a theme with Chiitan. Here is another video that starts charming and then has a bit of a turn. It is a testament to the utter brilliance of that video that I've watched it literally dozens of times, and not once have I given a moment's thought to whether or not that person was okay. And honestly, it doesn't matter, because even if they weren't, it was completely worth it. And as good as these videos are, Chiitan is somehow even better at Twitter, with a virtuosic deployment of memes. Just look at this. Hello, Burb. Hello, Pulitzer Prize for Poetry. Here's another magnificent example. Don't ever talk to my son, or my son's son, or my son's son's son, or my son's 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 son ever again. Just try saying that without laughing. It's physiologically impossible. Asking me to pick a favourite Chiitan tweet is like asking me to pick a favourite son, or son's son, or son's son. The point is, it'd be difficult, but I would probably have to say this one, in which Chiitan, standing next to a small kangaroo, asks, "Is this a pigeon?" I mean, come on! Clearly the question is rhetorical. Chiitan is famously excellent at recognising burbs. When's the last time Twitter made you happy? When's the last time anything made you happy? The problem is, even I will admit that Chiitan's occasionally gone a bit too far, like with this video titled, "Chiitan is going to visit your house." I accept. Even the most generous interpretation of that is that Chiitan is going to come to your house and beat you to death with a baseball bat. And I do get why a city might not want that message delivered by a self-appointed unofficial mascot. But I am sorry for Susaki that he's gone. And I'd also like you to spare a thought for their official mascot, Shinjo-kun, who is also, as we've established, excellent. Not as splashy as Chiitan, sure, but still wears a noodle bowl for a hat, and that's not nothing, is it? Shinjo-kun was clearly overshadowed by an unhinged, psychotic, unsanctioned otter, and while I'm sure that there's an element of relief there for Shinjo-kun, there's also going to be a massive Chiitan-shaped hole in its life now. The two mascots were together a lot, and I have to say, whenever you see Shinjo-kun alone now, the obvious sadness there is absolutely heartbreaking. What I'm saying here is, it's clear that Shinjo-kun needs a new friend. This time one that won't disappear or threaten the citizens of Susaki with a baseball bat. Luckily, as we now know, anyone can make an unofficial mascot for a city in Japan. And if you don't already know where this is heading, you've clearly never watched this fucking show before, because of course we made our own mascot. Of course we did. Please meet Chiitan. Chiitan is a 41-year-old, nearsighted English fairy baby. Now, ordinarily, when there's a new mascot on this show, I get up from this desk and walk over there to introduce you to him in person. The bad news is, I can't actually introduce you to Chiitan in person tonight. The good news is, the reason I can't do that is because he's already in Japan. It's true. Here he is, having the time of his life in Tokyo. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, OK, I get it, John. You just created a mascot to go to Japan and fuck with people. But no, you don't actually get it. You don't get it at all. We made Chiitan with the sole intention that he locate and comfort Shinjo-kun and fill the hole that Chiitan left in his heart. And for a sense of whether he was able to do that, you should probably take a look at this.
After a long flight, Chiitan arrived in Tokyo. He'd never seen anything like it, because he just got glasses the day before. Tomorrow he'd visit Susaki, but tonight belonged to Tokyo. Violently hungover, Chiitan got up the next morning, and as he looked through the clouds towards Susaki, he remembered the reason he was here. Shinjo-kun. He was 100% sure they were meant to be together, and 40% sure he was looking at Susaki. All the way to the train station, Chiitan's heart pounded. Each step was a step closer to his destiny. After a while, he got tired of taking steps and took a rickshaw. Each step of his rickshaw driver was a step closer to his destiny. At last, Susaki. Shinjo-kun was everywhere. On the stairs, on the sidewalk, on the walls, and in the streets. On his way, Chiitan introduced himself to all the local fish. This is the path that falls at Shinjo-kun's feet. This is the breeze that cools Shinjo-kun's face. This is the sun that warms the noodles that Shinjo-kun wears as a hat. And knowing this filled Chiitan with joy. final steps to his destiny were uphill. Aren't they always? Finally, Chiitan saw Shinjo-kun, his new best friend. Shinjo-kun didn't know if he was ready for a new best friend. He had had a best friend, Chiitan, and it had been a fucking living nightmare. But Chiitan seemed different. Less upper body strength, for one thing. At the local arcade, they used sticks to whack moles, not each other. Though they share an appetite for destruction, destroying something together is an act of creation. Shinjo-kun made Chiitan happy, and Chiitan wanted Shinjo-kun to have a Shinjo-kun so Shinjo-kun could be happy too. But Chiitan couldn't get Shinjo-kun a Shinjo-kun, and this made them sad. Now, sadness was another thing they shared. Chiitan tried to cheer Shinjo-kun up. He put on Shinjo-kun's thinking cap. Suddenly, he knew just what to do. Introduce themselves to some local fish. Shinjo-kun taught Chiitan how to take one stick and make 2 sticks. It was the best day of their lives. Without the sadness at the claw machine, Shinjo-kun never would have felt this joy. And if his old best friend hadn't left, his new best friend never would have come. That's too much soy sauce, Shinjo-kun said. No, replied Chiitan. It's not enough fish. Shinjo-kun had found his new best friend. A little chaos fulfills the spirit and prepares us for all the claw machines ahead. They saw their path and felt their breeze and saw their sun. Where is our sun going? Chiitan asked. Do not worry, said Shinjo-kun. We'll have our sun back tomorrow. And our sun's sun. And our sun's sun's sun. And our sun's 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 sun.
Admit it, none of us thought this was where our show was going tonight, and yet here we are now. Chiitan, and this is true, is still in Japan. The city of Susaki have now officially taken ownership of him. So if you ever want to see Chiitan in the flesh or in the fur, you will simply have to go there.